like people experiencing God's wrath.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of an interesting conversation.
It's kind of a spooky conversation.
It's kind of spooky. It's kind of Old
Yeah.
Testament tea.
Because of the cross, there's this grace and there's mercy extended to people. However, but like all within the midst of this dude caught a heart attack and died.
It's very evident. Oh, you lived apart from God, didn't live for his ways. Therefore, you are in.
Ruslan.
All right, what'd you guys think of the Logan Paul situation? Yeah, I think it was pretty trippy. You know what's interesting?
What's that?
The conversation of God's wrath. Ashley says George is a real one. Like people experiencing God's wrath.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of an interesting conversation.
It's kind of a spooky conversation.
It's kind of spooky. It's kind of Old Testament tea.
Yeah.
You know?
It's, I'll be honest with you. It is something that I wrestle with. Because of the cross, there's this grace and there's mercy extended to people. However.
Yeah, when is God like, bow?
Right. Yeah. However, I've seen anecdotal things in my own life where people who do wild stuff and play with God end up having some wildly spooky things happen to them. Once upon a time, I did an event at a church that I will not name right now.
Okay.
And the event went well. It's actually with a high-profile rapper who quit being a rapper and became a minister and then went back to being a rapper and then went back to being a minister and went back to being a rapper. He's all over the place. I'm not going to name his name. I'm sure anybody who knows anything about rappers who've quit to be ministers know who it is.
Wow.
And I was doing this event. I was backstage with this guy, and the whole event was interesting, and we were hanging out. And this is a decade ago. And the pastor, he was an interesting guy, to say the least. But from all measurable accounts, the pastor seemed cool. And what happened was it came out that the pastor was cheating on his wife.
Oof.
I believe with the church secretary.
Oof.
And the church found out about it, and his wife found out about it. And there didn't seem to be like, okay, you're stripped, you're sat down. There seemed to be like some like, you know what I mean? Like he was trying to like finesse a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is super sad because I genuinely like this guy and I wish it didn't end up this way. But like all within the midst of this dude caught a heart attack and died. Creepy, bro. Creepy.
How old is he?
Spooky. 50s, mid-50s.
Okay.
Yeah, like unexpected out of nowhere. He wasn't like the healthiest guy, but he wasn't like morbidly obese either.
Wow.
So I could point to all kinds of situations like that, like other things that have happened. So like when someone knows Jesus and they're walking with Jesus and then they're like, I'm gonna go be my own God, man, be careful. Or they start mocking God, they start mocking Jesus. Like, yeah.
I know more people that have experienced consequences of their own actions, of their own lifestyle.
For sure.
And it's very evident, oh, you lived apart from God, didn't live for his ways. Therefore, you are in a bad situation, chronic situation.
Yeah.
You're just ongoing. But it's definitely did A result B. It's not like did A result Z, like cheated and then, or divorce with no grounds and then cancer.
Yeah.
Like they're so separate that it's a little spooky.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen, man, like, Christians get cancer. Like, good people, people follow
everyone
Jesus.
gets cancer.
I mean, not everyone's going to get cancer, but anyone can get.
They actually say if you live long enough, you're going to die of cancer.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So don't be afraid.
It just goes to show that, like, you just don't know, and I don't know. I'm not speaking on behalf of God or, like, knowing, but it is super interesting that, like, Logan Paul went out the window, said this foul stuff about Jesus, and then, like, literally, this is the worst heat he's received since the Japan situation.
Yeah. 100%. He's like, this is the hardest week I've had in my entire life or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like I can recall another one. Like, this seems very subjective. But yeah, the things he said were very difficult. But I think alcohol poisoning is self-induced.
Yeah.
I think when you overdrink. So,
Yeah,
and then he just was going to fight his friend that also seems self-induced. But I mean, food poisoning and then the rest of the controversy is interesting. And the fact that people pushed back on behalf of a Christian.
Yeah.
Is kind of fairly interesting.
That was refreshing. I mean, there was Muslims that pushed back. There was Jewish people that pushed back. Folks really rode for George Janko there.
He's religiously ambiguous.
Yeah. 80
Lewis.
She said, I think judgment rather than wrath might be a more appropriate word for these situations.
I know wrath sounds so much
Wrath
cooler.
sounds so intense. You're so right. Hey, this clip is from our daily after party stream. If you enjoyed it, consider signing up for our Patreon community for only $5 a month, where you get access to the replays of our daily after party streams, as well as the uncut extended versions of our podcast, Discord access that's private, and a discount code for our merch store, only $5 a month. And ultimately, it's the best way to help us contextualize the gospel of Jesus using media, podcasting, and of course, YouTube. The link for that is in the description or in the pinned comment. The perks are amazing. You should get on there. It's only $5 a month. I'll see you over there, all right? Peace.